Abu Hanifa radiallahu anhu. There's a hadith that Abu Hanifa adds to the 4 hadiths that Imam Abu Dawood mentioned that were the hadith which would suffice any Muslim in his life. So Abu Dawood radiallahu anhu said that he gathered 500,000 hadith, and from that 500,000 he put the hadith in his collection of the Sunan of Abi Dawood, and which are a few thousand. And from those, he said, it suffices a Muslim 4 hadith. And the first one, he said, was إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, which is basically tasheehul ibadat. It's to rectify your worship with your Lord, because actions are by intention. So anything that you intend, that you're getting the intention of it, irrespective of the action, which is why people can do wrong things for the right reasons, and they can do the right things for the wrong reasons. So everything is based on intention. And obviously, for an action to be acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it has to be done with the right intention. It has to be done according to the sharia. In other words, it has to be from the permissible things, either things we've been commanded to do, encouraged to do, or permitted to do. It can't be from those things that are reprehensible or were discouraged to do, or those things that were prohibited to do. And then that it has to be done with sound belief. So you have to be doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's not simply, that sounds like the first one, a right intention, but you can have a good intention, but your belief is not correct. And this is where you come into what's bid'ah. And shaitan is ya'isa an yu'bad fi jazirat al-Arab. He is despaired of being worshipped on the Arabian Peninsula, shaitan. The Prophet ﷺ made it sure that shaitan would not be worshipped on the Arabian Peninsula. So, but he is content with sowing dissension amongst you. So that's a hadith where shaitan will sow dissension, and that's good enough for him. If that's the best he can get, he'll settle for that. But if shaitan does not get kufr from a person, this is the best thing that he can do. The best thing is atheism, disbelief. And then a religion that's off the path, so a religion that's gone astray. Because Christians still believe in Allah, they believe in God, Jews believe in God, but the religious practice is not in accordance with the prophetic tradition anymore. And it was, according to our belief, nullified and abrogated by the Islamic tradition. So then, for the believers, if they're Muslim, then what he wants is ma'asiyah. If he can't get disbelief, he'll settle for ma'asiyah. If he can't get ma'asiyah, then he'll settle for bid'ah. Right? So there's a lot of people doing things that they think are drawing them close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they're not, because they're innovative things. And the Prophet ﷺ said, مَنْ أَحْدَثَ فِي أَمْرِنَا هَذَا مَا لَيْسَ مِنْهُ فَهُوَ رَدٌّ. Whoever innovates something in our religion that's not from it, then it's completely rejected. And there's some people that use this word bid'ah, and they have a very limited understanding of it, and so they condemn everything that Muslims do as innovation. There's people out there that do that, and they call everybody who doesn't agree with them mubtadi'. The bid'ah is clearly defined by our ulama. It goes under 5 categories. There's bid'ah wajiba, there's bid'ah manduba, there's bid'ah mubaha, there's bid'ah makruha, and there's bid'ah muharrama. And to say that because kullu bid'atan dalala is kullu bid'atan muharrama is dalala. And the Prophet ﷺ, his language is, you have to read what the ulama say about the language, because you'll go astray if you try to take hadith, your rulings directly from hadith or Quran without the means of the scholars. Many examples of that, because the language of the Quran and the language of the Hadith is elliptical, which means that there's a lot of hadf. In rhetoric, the Arabs use what's called ijaz, which is very concise language. So there's a lot of lacunae in the Quran, there's a lot of lacunae in Hadith that are fleshed out in the sayings of the commentators on them. They will flesh those hadiths out for you. And so the Prophet ﷺ, when he said, Kullu bid'atan dalala, there's a difference between a bid'ah shar'iyya, a bid'ah lughawiyya, a bid'ah urfiyya. There are different types of bid'ah. And this is why Omar, when he gathered everybody under one imam, because during the Ramadan they were praying, several different groups were praying in the masjid. And he gathered them all under one imam. And he said, what a good bid'ah this is. Right? Because that hadn't been done before him. But that's not a bid'ah shar'iyya, because he was taking something that is from the religion. Man ahdatha fi amrina hadha ma laysa minhu. What's not from it. He didn't say man ahdatha fi amrina hadha fahuwa raddun. Whoever brings something new in our religion, it's rejected. And people that think that are fools, because first of all, those same people are looking at their watch saying, oh brother, it's time for dhuhr. Ya akhi, bid'ah. Now, why are you, dhuhr telling you now, your watch is telling you, and then that's a kafir watch. It was made in Switzerland by kuffar. So now you're having kuffar tell you what the prayer time is? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Brother. Huh? It's crazy. So, and then you drive to the masjid. Astaghfirullah, brother, where's your donkey? Can't drive to the masjid, and that's made by Ford. It's a kafir company. And then you bought the gas from Standard. It's kafir country, brother. What are you doing? You got feet, you could walk. Why are you driving a car? It's bid'ah. None of the Sahaba went to the masjid in a car. And certainly not with leather seats and that fancy, right? This is the type of madness that we're living in now, is that people don't think things through.